Mike Parry, a British commentator, has erupted over members of Parliament claiming to represent their constituents by skipping the queues to see the Queen lying in state. While the public contend with queues more than 5 miles long to see Her Majesty, the 3,000 House of Commons staff, including MPs, have been granted special access to Westminster Hall, thereby allowing them to skip the line. Mr. Parry accused politicians of using this privilege to bring their mates and slammed the idea proffered by senior Labour MP Jonathan Reynolds that the visit was on behalf of his constituents. Mr. Parry said, "I passed Lambeth Bridge this morning on my way to this show. So, I looked up on my phone how long the queue, to see the Queen lying in state, was and it said 8.5 hours. That was at 6:45 a.m. this morning, so it is going to get worse." While looking at pictures of members of Parliament paying their respects to the Queen in Westminster Hall, Jeremy Vine said, "We can see Jacob Rees-Mogg's young children there. I do not think they would have been able to queue for 12 hours, so there is an exceptional privilege there." Mr. Parry said, "Of course there is. You need child facilities to keep a child happy for 12 hours. Absolutely ridiculous. If an MP works in the Commons and wants to go to the lying in state, he or she should be able to, it's in the same building as where they work." Mike Parry said it was ridiculous that MPs were being given special privilege to see the Queen. Image, Jeremy Vine. Jonathan Reynolds was slammed for claiming he used his privilege to represent his constituents. Image, Getty. But listen to this here. Senior Labour MP Jonathan Reynolds posted his black-edged invitation, "Because that is what you get when you are an MP and you bring your mates," and said, "It was a privilege to represent my constituents today at this remarkable ceremony. A moment of British history. That is how they are going to get away with it, by saying I was representing my constituents. I just wonder if they are as fast getting down to the local council offices when the bins are not being collected to represent their constituents. It is freeloading." Read more. British public have shown up tin pot anti-monarchists, says Alex Story. Opinion. Well-wishers stand in the queue in Southwark Park for the lying in state of Queen Elizabeth II. Image, Getty. The queues to see the Queen lying in state have been suspended as of the time of writing due to the enormous number of people joining the line. According to the Department for Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport, the queue is at capacity and is currently paused. It stretches all the way from Westminster Hall, along the River Thames, to Southwark Park in Bermondsey, on the other side of the river to Canary Wharf. The line snakes along the Thames past 5 bridges and extends more than 5 miles, with those at the back of the queue hours away from even seeing Westminster Hall. Don't miss, MPs slammed for skipping the queue in Westminster Hall. Report, government slammed for failing disabled and elderly mourners. Reveal, Queen funeral planners tweak allowing thousands more to view coffin. Reveal, David Beckham joined the queue at 2 a.m. on Friday to see the Queen lying in state. Image, Getty. Trending mourners have been urged not to join the line until at least 4 p.m. on Friday by the DCMS. Officials stopped people joining the queue entirely at around 11:35 a.m. at the entrance to Southwark Park in southeast London due to overwhelming demand. Former England football captain David Beckham, without special privilege, joined the queue for the Queen's lying in state at 2 a.m. on Friday, and said it was special to be here. Speaking about joining the queue, he said, "I thought by coming at 2 a.m. it was going to be a little bit quieter. I was wrong." Talking about what the Queen meant to him, he added, "Every time that we stood there when we wore those 3 lion shirts and I had my armband and we sang God Save Our Queen, that was something that meant so much to us." Read next. GB News forced to cut cameras after causing chaos in morning queue. Frustration erupts as line closed for 6 hours. Complete shambles guide to seeing Queen lying in state with queue times and checks hours of queuing. for a moment to say goodbye to Her Majesty. Mourners touched as ray of sun beams down on Westminster Hall.